and welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast where the tea is piping hot and we're always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay, here in my caftan that I love so much and I wear way too much, but honestly it's cool. Today we're drinking water because I am still on the up and up from my food poisoning recovery journey. I was also just too lazy to make any caffeine, so water.
And hello, I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give you all the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea, and gobble up the tea, because you know I love me some tea. So if you have tea, give it to me. I'll take it. I am drinking strawberry check.
Dang it, Lana!
I do love my strawberry drinks, but this is strawberry check.
Give us a review, real quick review.
Oh, it's a delicious drink. It's sweeter than strawberry Sunkist though, a little bit, but it's good. And you can always find your check at your local Winn-Dixie's. Period. Cheers.
If you live in the South, which I don't. Well, I mean, technically the Southern U.S., but I live in the Southwest. So, yeah. Goodness, semi-final one of the American Song Contest is here, Lana.
We made it.
We made it. We are not super happy with all 22 of the songs that made it to this point. But
let's just say some really good songs tonight. Plus one really horrible song.
10 really great
songs.
Really
great songs that I enjoyed very much.
Plus one.
Plus one extra. And apparently the jury does not agree with us, but we'll talk about that because
I have thoughts
about the jury,
about this white ass jury.
I have thoughts, I have feelings, I have thoughts, because we'll talk about it. But this was a solid week of really, really good songs. Don't expect anything different because all the songs that we pretty much liked or whatever were good songs have made it to this round. So this is going to be hard. And I know people have voted, and the jury have made their selections. It was just a good show. It was just a good show. Yeah. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. Before we dive fully in, I do want to take a moment for all the songs that we did lose in the qualifiers that we loved. I'm thinking just of a few offhand. I'm thinking of Elizabeth Von Presley, our queen. I'm thinking of Keone Star, our queen. Las Marias, our queens. De La Finiquera. I have it up, so I'm gonna just run through. Who else did we really like? Almira Zaki, queen. Notice how all of the people we've mentioned so far have been women. Wow, I wonder. Brooke Alex. I don't take pictures anymore.
Yeah.
I really liked Brittany Vance, so missing out on her. Jewel. How could we forget Jewel? How could we forget Jewel? Let's see who else. I really liked Savannah Keys' Sad Girl. So
I did like Sad Girl too. I liked Sad Girl.
Bree Steves. We lost Bree Steves. Who else? Cully Soul.
Cully Soul.
That's pretty much the only people that I'm like. Oh, and Justin Jesso.
Yes.
Are like the ones that I'm like upset about, but also like there's just the difficulty here is like, and I've seen a lot of people online complaining, rightfully so, about the contest, but complaining about how the songs weren't good. And honestly, now that we have all 56 and we've kind of been in reflection with all 56 for a little bit, I would definitively say at least 75% were really, really good songs.
You missed one that I liked. This Ali Zabala from Flirt. I loved Flirt. I just liked it. It was just a cute song.
Sure.
It's and even the songs that weren't the greatest that just made me feel good. Let's talk about Sunsets and Sea Turtles. It just made me feel good. I just love that song. So I don't understand what the complaints are about. Because first of all, this is an original song contest, and half of these songs you just have to let grow on you, and you have to listen to them more than once for you to like or not like. And most of these songs are really good songs. I like to say I agree with you on the 75% of the songs were good songs. Even the songs that I did not particularly care for were solid. Some of them were really solid. Like, I didn't have a visceral reaction to any song except one that I just didn't like. It was only one song out of this whole competition I was just like, no.
I never want to listen to this song.
Never want to listen to it again. Every other song was like, okay, it's a song.
Every other song was like, I could listen to this again.
Right. It's like if it came on the radio, I wouldn't necessarily just turn it immediately. Yeah. It's just, if it's background noise, it'll be background noise, you know? Sure. But
no, totally.
So I'm very much into, I don't understand the complaints because I think half of, like 75, maybe even 80% of these songs were good songs.
I was gonna say 75 at least. I don't know the exact version. It's somewhere around there. But we did at the start of the show find out the qualifiers from last week.
Yes.
This is a thing that I hope they get to change in the in the transition into the second year, which I think they're getting. I hope, because I actually really, really like, I mean, it's Eurovision in America, and it's people I can root for because, like, it's my state. So, like, I understand that whole aspect of Eurovision now a lot more than I did before. So in that regard, like, I hope they do another year. But I hope, honestly, even if it's something like on the Tonight Show on Friday night or something, we get the results. Like, I hope we don't have to wait an entire week. Because how are they going to do the final is my question. I'm really curious. Like, I'm going to be very attentive next to my desk, honestly, for the final, because I'm really concerned that it's going to be just strictly a live vote. And if that's the case, that's going to be an issue because it's only East Coast. So I feel like they probably have something figured out. Not really all that sure, but we'll see what happens with that. But we did get the qualifiers. Overall, Lana, we're pretty happy with who qualified, because our two big ones, California and American Samoa.
Yes.
Thankfully.
That's who I wanted. That's who I wanted. Yep. Those are the two that I was like, if they don't make it, I will be very upset.
Agreed.
I mean, I could have done without John Morgan, North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. He's there.
Yeah.
But I do like that all of the finalists except one are women. So it's nice to see that. The qualifiers.
That was not the case.
That has not been the case in any of the qualifiers. No. So it's great to see, even though I didn't agree with LeAnn getting the jury vote. I felt like she did fine enough to qualify. So great for her. Yeah. And California, come on, Sweet Taboo, like flawless, killed it. And American Samoa, flawless, killed it.
Yeah. I was actually going to bring up a fact, but we haven't talked about the wild card. We got the other wild card choice as well. We were kind of, I don't want to speak for you. I was kind of dreading this one because I was like, I don't know who it's going to be. I'm a little concerned. And the wild card ended up being Greenlight. I'm so happy.
I'm shocked, but I'm happy.
I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Same. I'm very shocked, but I'm very happy that Anissa got it. Another woman, a woman of color, to come out and be out and showcase their talent. And I was very happy because honestly, I thought it was going to be Yam House. We thought it was Yam House. We all kind of
thought it was going to be Yam House. I know they put Spotify together with like Apple Music. So thank you, iPhone and Apple users, for listening to Greenlight. Because she did not have the first, second, third, or fourth qualifying number.
Not on Spotify,
Actually,
no.
that's a lie. I think she had fourth. She was fourth.
But still, it was very great to see that. And I was like very
Yes.
happy to find that out. It was going to be Anissa.
And I'm really, really happy as well because Anissa is someone, as we talked about when we talked about week 2, I believe it was that she was in. Her family is from Albania and she is a Eurovision fan. So it makes me really, really happy that the other wildcard spot goes to someone that knows this sort of process and is really like engaged and excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful that her live performance has changed. We'll talk about the ones from tonight.
Yes.
A lot of them changed, which we were concerned, and I'm very happy to see. But looking at the semifinal 2 lineup, it is 5 female acts and 6 male acts, which is a lot better ratio than we got in tonight's.
Yes.
So I'm very, very happy to see that there is more of a gender balance when it comes to the performers that we're getting. Racial balance, not nearly as much as I would have liked. It's under 50% POC. I don't know the exact number offhand. I think it's close to like 30 to 40%. But I'm happy to see that the gender balance is at least a little bit closer than what we would have gotten otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So our people competing in semifinal 2 next week are going to be Tanel for American Samoa, Sweet Taboo for California, Michael Bolton for Connecticut, Stella Cole for Georgia, DIY. Yes.
Love that.
Broderick Jones for Kansas, Anissa for New York, Chloe Fredericks for North Carolina.
No. John Morgan
for North Carolina, Chloe Fredericks for North Dakota. It's been a long day.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Chloe Fredericks for North Dakota, Christian Pagan for Puerto Rico, Tyler Braden for Tennessee, and Grant Kanoki for Texas.
I'm excited about next week's semifinals.
I'm way more excited about next week.
It's gonna be so good. I'm excited.
I'm very, very excited.
I mean, I was excited for this week's semifinals. Not gonna lie. I was excited for this one because I love so many songs in this. Yes. Like I said, I like every song except one.
Yeah.
So
well, then let's just get it on, Lana.
Let's get into it.
So they said, semifinals.
Period.
We're starting with Jordan Smith.
Period.
So the biggest thing that I went through and noticed, and I actually went and rewatched the original performances as well as watched the semifinal performances because I was really curious again about the changes that were made. The changes here were very minor, mostly being the background turning into this sort of like churchscape window moment, which I loved. The fact that on his little stage, he was surrounded by candles, which I thought was a really nice difference to the spotlights that were on him previously. And then the choir this time were in these like beige robes.
Those weren't even robes. Those were like capes. Like those dresses were like something you would wear to prom. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing. His staging was immaculate. The eyes when they had that in the first one, and I didn't notice it until I went back and looked. It was just beautiful. Like you said, the candles, the lights, the choir. Jordan doesn't disappoint. He's never going to disappoint you in his voice. His vocals are always going to be on point. Yep. The song is still amazing. It still hits you in the guts every time you hear him sing it. And like listening to it on the on his studio version is lovely, but listening to him do it live is even more lovely, and it sends the goosebumps and the feelings and I was like just the perfect way to start the show to get everybody all in their feels because it just hit me right in the guts.
Yeah. We had a bit of an issue with the high note at the very end in his original performance. He almost, for me at least, he almost hit it, but he hit it this time perfectly. I went back and listened, and that was one of the big comparisons that I saw. I will say the only issue I had vocally with this performance is I could hear the nerves at the very start. I heard it in that first verse. Once he got into that first full-on chorus, it all went away, and that's stage fright, and I get that. And I'm not going to, like, dock him points for that, because I feel like any one of them going first in this semifinal would have felt the exact same way. So that was literally my only issue. Otherwise, I completely agree. I love the change in the staging. This staging feels like like I'm understanding, not necessarily understanding. Yeah, I'm understanding the story. That's what it was. I was like, I'm not really understanding the vibe better because I understood the vibe from the first performance, but I'm really getting the story, and I'm getting more of Jordan in the whole staging and the performance of it. Then I didn't. It's not that I didn't get him in the original performance from it. It's just I got him a little bit more in this performance. So
it was so good. It was always good. But I didn't expect it to be anything but good. Not with Jordan. It was amazing. It's really, really, what else can you say? It was so good.
Yeah. I think he's got a pretty solid spot in the final. I wouldn't say definitively.
No.
I mean, at this point, there's only one person that's going to be in the final. We'll talk about it. But, and Lana's real happy about it. I am too. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's got a very, very good shot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of songs that sound like him. In this semifinals. So I'm really interested to see. But, again, another solid performance out of Jordan. So. Next up, Riker, Lynch, I'm so sorry.
You know what? Okay, let's talk about this.
Please do.
When you told me this before I watched the show, I was like, oh, Riker, why they do this to you? Why did they do this to you? But I feel like Riker held his own.
I agree.
Riker actually did a really good job at this performance. Like, I liked this performance way better than I liked his first performance.
I completely agree.
So I thought, because I felt like he was more in the pocket, more in the zone, more focused. He wasn't as like sporadic like he was the last time for me. Like, I felt like
I feel like they actually choreographed this performance, whereas the first one they were like, just go on stage and see what happens.
Right. I think his performance this time was very much more focused, more in the pocket, more in the zone. Like, I feel like he just performed like he knows how to perform. I didn't think this was a bad performance. I actually liked the performance. I love that he continued. He still went into the crowd and interacted with the crowd. I like the elements that he kept, but I actually like some of the elements that he changed a little bit.
This prismatic staging.
Yes.
So good. So the reason I said I'm so sorry to him was because they put him after Jordan Smith. That was where that was from me. Because I completely agree. This was a great performance from Riker. I loved the new choreography that was added. I loved that they filled the stage with more people. The camera effect that was happening in the second chorus with like I don't know what to call that, but I loved that. I loved him crowd surfing. He was crowd surfing, Lana.
I mean, I love that from the first time when he did it. I was like, yes. But what I did love was him bringing people onto the stage. I like that element of it and having the stage fill out. I loved the changes he made. And I loved the changes, the things he didn't keep. He didn't change. He just kept the same because they were really good. I love that they have the beach balls going through the audience. It just added to the party of it all. The lighting, I thought it was a good performance. I thought it held up his own, even going after somebody like a Jordan Smith who was going to be phenomenal regardless. I felt like that was a tough position to put him in, but he rose to the occasion and it was really good. I enjoyed it.
The only issue I had vocally, and I don't even necessarily think this is him, and this happened actually with a couple people. I think the other one was, who was it? Because I noted it. It was Jonah Prill was the other person that I noted this for. The backing track felt like it was drowning him out at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounded like there was a pure double of his
Yeah.
voice, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's what it was. But
they did it to a couple of people with this one. Jonah Prill was one. Alexa was another one.
Alexa was another one.
And
I noticed
actually,
it with Ada LeAnn
Ryan
as well.
Charles, Nubu Goofin,
Yes.
was another one. I felt their backing track was so much louder than it needed to be, because then it drowned out their actual vocals. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
I think in some cases maybe that was to the advantage of the artist. We'll talk about one in particular.
Okay.
Not the one that we don't like, but another one that I think
I know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
We'll get there.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, Riker Lynch, I thought he did a phenomenal job.
I do.
We'll talk about the jury rankings because I'm disappointed. But anyway. Third up in the order is New Hampshire's Mari with Fly. Now, this was the one I think we both agreed we were most intrigued to see what would happen with Miss Mari. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I'm really, really happy with the way the performance came out. I thought this performance was leaps and bounds better than her original performance. It still wasn't perfect. The vocal was not perfect, but I thought the vocal was much better than her first time, and I'm really happy to see that.
I agree. I was very much concerned about her vocals. Like, I never questioned Mari's stage presence, her performance level, because like she's going to give it. She gives what she gives. She's always going to look fierce. She's always going to just fill out the stage, regardless, with just Mari. But her vocals sometimes in the first performance was a little shaky, a little rough. But this time around, it was way better. And I think she learned that she doesn't have to do as much moving as she did before, because as a bigger girl, we get a little bit winded when we start kicking and moving and dancing too much when we're trying to sing. She focused on the vocals than the dancing aspect of it, which you should do, because especially when you're trying to hit those notes like she was hitting. Was it still a little shaky? A little bit. Some of it was a little for me, but it was definitely way better than her first performance. But I still love Mari. I think Mari is just an incredible person, and just I love Mari. I do.
Can we talk about this look?
This dress.
I'm okay. So I am trying to find here. Okay, thank God I found it. So this look that Mari was giving reminded me of something from RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, Lana, I know you won't understand the reference, which is why I'm pulling up the photo. But for any Drag Race fans, this look reminded me of this look from Jan with the cage and sort of the skirt moment. It gave me those vibes, and I couldn't stop thinking about it during Mari's performance, because it was a very similar like silhouette in the blue. Like it reminded me of that. But I loved the look. I loved the staging. I also want to say I thought her breath control specifically was a lot improved from the original performance.
She realized she needs to stop moving so much and focus on the vocals. Like I said, when you're a bigger girl and you start moving around, you get all winded, and your breath control is the first thing that starts lacking.
Yeah.
You have to build up that stamina in order to dance and sing and move around and do all that. And so I'm glad she listened back at her performance and was like, ooh, let me not do that. And she just stood on that stage and she just sang, because that song is all you need to do. It's just sing. And I loved her staging. I loved that they lifted her up at the end. And
I loved that.
It was so good. It was just a good performance.
A lot of people in this semifinal used height as a very well done staging mechanism. Mari used it. We'll talk about Alan Stone here in a second. Alan Stone used it very effectively. A couple other people, Alexa obviously was going to use it very effectively. But I really, really appreciated from pretty much everyone that things were different in this performance.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I thought, is she going to make the final? Unfortunately, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But
I don't know. People
could be
it.
that. She could be that dark horse.
I feel like her and Riker Lynch might be America's favorite because people heart what's what the heart likes.
I was gonna say one other person who has the most streams by far of anybody from this contest as well, being Alexa. I think Alexa is the other person that like is America's favorite when it comes to this. But I completely agree with Mari and with Riker because hell, America is the reason they're both there. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah,
because they were not high in the jury rankings. They were not. Neither one of them.
Mari was 8th, I think, and Riker was 6th, if I remember right. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but very, very happy for her. I'm so happy to see her here.
Me too.
Phenomenal. So, here you go, Lana. Alan Stone, a bit of both. Give me your thoughts. All of them.
Do we need my thoughts?
Yes, I do.
I freaking love this song. There is no ifs, ands, buts, neithers, theirs, or others about it. I groove to this song. I love it. I think this is the song I've played the most out of all the songs from America's Song Contest. I've listened to this song so much. I know every word to this song. I love this song. It's just such a good song. And then like to the point where I love breaking down his lyrics and I'm like, oh my God, gravity redefined. Stop it! I freaking love this song. I love his voice. His voice, like I said before, will melt the panties off of anybody. It is just such a great voice. And the song is so good. And then, as much as I love the first performance, I'm like, it can't get no better. You just can't. What's better than perfection? Because the first one was perfection to me. What is better than perfection? Add perfection plus 10. Like, first of all, he started in the back and in the crowd, and he just.
I loved that start. That easily my favorite start change of anybody.
He just started from the back of the crowd and just walked his way up, and it was just such a award worthy performance. Like that's the kind of performances you see at award shows. You see those kind of starts, and then he walked up on that stage, and then he started singing, and then the lights went red like the first performance, and then his group, the choir, rose up from the ground behind him. It was.
They went down into their little recessed areas of the stage, and then they went up into the stage.
It was.
I also.
Go ahead.
I love, and we'll talk about Hueston later, but I love that Alan Stone took Hueston's blue haze staging, and then Hueston took Alan Stone's red haze staging. I was like. What are we doing here?
It was so good. Like I said, I didn't know how you top perfection because perfection was what I saw from his first performance. This performance just was perfection times 10. And then his little nuance changes in how he sang the song was so good.
I was going to talk about the ad-libs. The ad-libs that he made were phenomenal.
It was just like, he didn't even have to do anything else but change the little, like he stretched out parts and then he shortened part. And then his little, Alan Stone is my winner pick. I just feel like, I cannot. I love everybody, and I feel like a lot of songs I say people have done flawless performances and great performances, but Alan Stone's just hit different for me. It just hits my very being and my soul. This is the kind of song I could put on and just start cleaning up my house with. You know what I'm saying? It's just that groove. It's that groove. I put it on and I'm just sitting back reading, and or put it in the car. You going on a long ride. You just bob your head and you just, it's just such a great song. I know it's a song contest and I don't know if it's what they go do with the song after this competition, but this song deserves to be played on everybody's radio station, and it deserves to be nominated for a Grammy. It's so good. It's so freaking good.
I mean, we'll just talk about it now, Lana. I'm excited that we get to hear it one more time because Alan Stone was the jury winner yet again.
As he should be. As he should be. Because of AB, I was like, I love everybody, but y'all ain't coming. Y'all not. This song is giving what it needs to be gave. It's just such a good song. This is my winner pick, and I love so many songs in this competition. And even next week, I'm like, I know I'm gonna love so many songs, but this is my song. Like, out of all the songs, this would be my. If we ranked from all the songs in this competition, this would be my number one song.
Well, when that video comes out, nobody be surprised.
Nobody will be surprised because this is my number one song. This song is so freaking good.
I think I have a different song that, for the exact same reasons, is my number one that we'll talk about next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say it now because I don't really care. I think mine, I don't know who my number one is, but I think the song that I have the same visceral reaction that you do to is honestly North Dakota. Like, I think it's Chloe Fredericks for me. I like that, so I understand that visceral reaction. And don't get me wrong, this song has gone majorly up in my rankings since the first time we talked about it. Because I know I shocked you and Zev, where I was like, it's good, but no, this is. He did what needed to be done. Point blank. Period. Like. There's really nothing else to say.
He just did it. He just did it.
Yeah. Well, let's get to one more good song before we have to talk about crap. And that's Alabama. Nico, The Difference.
Okay. Let me say.
Yeah.
I like this performance more than I like the last performance. Oh, well, I think it's different. I think it's both. Okay, so this is what I feel like. I feel like the first performance, the knee in Nico didn't add up to what she needed to do.
Yeah.
In this performance, I feel the in Nico didn't add up to what he needed to do.
I wrote the exact same thing. I was like, so this time, Danny's hitting everything.
Yes.
And Colton's struggling.
Yes.
Whereas I felt the exact opposite
the first performance. I don't think they're going to make it to the finals with this performance, unfortunately. And it's sad to say that because Alabama is my state where I am right now. It's
the only state that we currently have to root for between the two of us. So...
But as much as I still love this song, still love the song, I just felt like this performance this week was a struggle for Colton. Yeah. And Danny hit all of her notes that, like, if they were on the same page for the first time, if they both hit their notes like they needed to, it would have been awesome. I also felt like the crowd was not in it for them. Like, I don't know. I thought at first that we were seeing their jury entry with no crowd. And I was like, why are we not hearing any crowd? Or then we heard a woo. And I was like, oh, so I don't know. I don't know if it was just because it was a slower song or whatever. It just didn't hit like it didn't hit.
Honestly, I think it's because they followed Alan Stone. I think they also really got shafted by that. With that said, I do think this was a very, very good performance.
Overall. It was.
I think Colton struggled, but still did very well.
Mm-hmm.
That intro really was the thing that kind of hit me. But then again, honestly, with the exception of Jordan Smith and Alan Stone, who didn't have pitch issues. I can't name anybody else that didn't have any pitch issues in these performances other than Jordan and Alan. Because I think everybody else in the contest did.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I think you might be right.
So like for me in that regard, then it becomes difficult to rank everything. We'll talk about rankings later. But like I still thought it was a really, really great performance. Colton definitely struggled, but I thought Danny really held her own. The looks, them both in white, Danny with this cute little jeweled moment, I thought was a really, really good look. I really appreciated that they kept most of the same staging from the original performance. The same sort of cinematographic, I don't know what the word, the same camera angles, that's the way to say it. The same camera angles, the same sort of setup with the two, then in the chorus back to back. Like I thought that was really, really strong. I loved the duotoned lighting that they did with this sort of like blue and this sort of like gold situation. Thought a couple of the camera angles were new and really, really good. I liked when Danny was in the foreground, Colton was in the background. I really liked that shot. Yeah, again, Colton had a bit of a struggle, but Danny had a bit of a struggle in the first performance, so it was a little bit difficult to counteract that. But I thought overall this was a very, very good performance for me. I enjoyed this performance a lot, the same way I did the first performance, the same way that I felt about them the first time I heard the song, same way I feel every time I hear the song. Like,
they look beautiful. The white was beautiful. They look beautiful. Yeah. So yeah. And her makeup was flawless too, by the way. She looked gorgeous.
Stunning.
She looked gorgeous.
But all right. Let's get this over with. New boot Goofin. It wasn't good.
Okay. So I was very much ready to not watch this performance.
Same.
I said, I'm not going to watch this performance because don't really care about this song. But I watched the performance. I don't like the song.
Nope.
I still don't like the song. Bless those dancers' hearts. They gave it their all. They look cute. I did like the glow in the dark look.
Well, but it was the exact same staging with the exact same outfit. They did not change a thing. Ryan Charles was one of two artists that, to what I remember and what I saw in both performances, did not change a single thing. He was wearing, I believe, the same outfit.
I thought it was black.
Was it black?
I thought his first performance.
Then he may change his performance or his look.
He changed from white to black. I mean, it's the same outfit, but just a different color.
Sure. Everything else about the staging, the dancing, the performance, everything else was the same.
I mean, but see, this is what I don't like, and this is. I don't know if it's showing a bias of any kind, but when you start a show off and your intro of a show is you dancing to a particular artist's song that happens to be performing tonight, bothers me. I didn't like that. I get that Snoop might like the song, and I get that Kelly might like the song, and I get that, it has some TikTok stuff happening and it's viral, whatever. But when you're performing or having performances that are going to be voted on by the public, you can't or you shouldn't start a show off dancing and having a good time to somebody who's performing tonight, because that shows bias to everybody else who's performing tonight. Yep. Have your opinions. Enjoy the song if you enjoy the song. Yep. But as the host and as the producer shouldn't have ever allowed that to happen. Like,
well, and they're both executive producers as well. That's the
right. So we don't need to have them doing an intro and have New Boot Goofin playing in the background. And that's how we warm up, is to New Boot Goofin. I'm sure that's like, oh, we want to promote some of the artists, but you're not. You're promoting one.
You could have done it to Cisco. You could have done it to Callie Soul. You could have done it to Neither.
Anybody
you could have done it to UG Skywalking. You could have done it to
who's
anybody.
Not in the show anymore. You could have promoted them because they're not there anymore. Or you could have did anybody from next week's show. It's just you don't do that for this week's performance. Just my opinion.
Agree. No, I completely agree with you.
But I still don't like the song. I still felt like don't like
trash.
it. So we can move on.
Trash, boot, trash. Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is here.
Hueston held on too long. Like I talked about earlier, he took the red haze from Alan Stone's first performance. I did not think that man could get more attractive.
Hueston?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he cut his hair?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh no. Oh no. The performance wasn't my favorite.
This is what I felt about Hueston. I felt about Hueston how I felt about Hueston the first week. I'm like, the song was okay. The song was nice. I don't think it deserved the jury vote, but he did enough to qualify, yes. But did he deserve the jury vote? I don't know. But I felt like Hueston was trying so hard to compete with Alan Stone that he forgot he was competing in a competition. Because Hueston's pitchy, like this performance lacked way more than what his first performance was so much better. Like I thought his first performance was like, okay, I could hear the growl, the groove. It was it was good. It was good. Like I thought he was good, like qualified, yes, good. But this performance, if he would have sounded like this the first week, I wouldn't even say he needed to qualify.
Yeah.
But he was so ready to go against Alan Stone, and you see where you ended up, because
when you do clownery,
all you need to focus on is yourself and go out there and perform the best of your ability. Don't be worried about what somebody said about Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just not the best performance from him. His first was so much better.
Yeah.
So
I would say honestly, the only person other than Nubu Goofin, because that's just in a whole other.
That's a whole
not
other
even
realm.
Not even considering it.
He does not compare to anybody on this stage other.
Absolutely.
So
this is the only performance overall of the 10 that I thought was worse than the original. I think.
Yeah,
I think. We still have 4 more, but yeah.
I think I might agree with you on that one. I think this was the one that didn't hold up to their first performance.
He did not hold on too long.
No, he held on way too short. Because
he did not. Yep.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it was still. He still sounded nice, but it just wasn't great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what ends up happening, because we'll talk about jury rankings again at the end. And actually talk about them, because there are other videos that we've done where I've watched back that we say we're going to talk fully about the jury rankings and we don't. We definitely forgot a time or two, but whatever. All right. Next up, Montana's Jonah Prill. Fire It Up.
That's a good looking man.
That is a man.
That is a good looking man.
That is a man.
I
felt some kind of way when he took that jacket off, and I said,
I think everybody felt some kind of way when he took that jacket off.
I think that backup dancer that got his jacket felt some kind of way.
I felt the backup dancer who was right behind him felt some kind of way when he took that jacket off. Look, I felt like every female on that dancer on that stage was like,
and if any of those dancers were gay, they were thinking the same thing.
Like,
and probably the straight ones too. Let's be honest here.
Can I just say, Jonah Prill, I enjoyed his performance so much more than his first performance.
Same.
So much more. Like, he felt so relaxed, and in the pocket on this before.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first time I heard, I was like, okay, I like the song. Hey. This one, I watched it and I was literally like, you're gonna fire it up. Hey, we're gonna fire it up. Hey, I was like jamming with this. He just looked so comfortable and so like the staging was set up perfectly, looking like he just in his truck, hanging out with his friends.
I wrote that it felt like a country music video.
Yes,
that's what it felt like, a country music video brought to the stage.
It was so good.
I agree with you that I think he was a lot more relaxed. The one issue I had in this performance is that I felt as though his performance felt a bit smaller than the original. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because I think in his original he was like trying to compensate for the fact that there wasn't a whole lot going on stage, and so he had to be a little bit more to compensate for that. But I think in this performance, he was a little bit more like, I guess what I'm trying to say is exactly what you said. He was a little bit more like in the pocket within himself. I think that's overall fine. But
it's definitely, this is what it is. And I think what you're getting at, it was fine for the reason of the fact that reason of the fact of the point. Okay. It's a long day. But I think I think the fact that he was able to be more relaxed, more calm, and let the stage work for him instead of him having to work for the stage. And that's where that's why it felt so comfortable. And that's why I felt like it gave us that country video feel, because when you're watching a video, the performers are not always front and center, because they have so much stuff going on around them where they don't have to be right there. And so he was just able to lean back, let the background do what the background is supposed to do, and support him. And then he let all the props, like I love the big tractor tires that they had on the side, and then the wheelbarrow came out. I just loved all the little nuances and the pieces. And then when he got to that end where he was able to jump out, take that jacket off, and just be Jonah, it was so good. Like, I enjoyed it. I love that they kept the fire behind him, because I would have been very disappointed if we didn't have the fire behind Fire It Up.
They need to fire it up.
They had to. And I love that all the background dancers gave what needed to be given in this moment, because they looked like they were at a country party, hanging outside at night with the sitting on the bed of the trucks and just drinking a beer and having a good time. That's what country parties are about. And it looked like they were in their element, and everybody it just was a fun performance. I think his performance for me alone brought him up in my rankings than just this song, because I like the song, but this performance just elevated it, because it was so in the pocket. It was very much, he hit his sweet spot with this performance. This was one of my favorites of the night, because he hit his sweet spot.
I agree completely.
It was so good.
It was really, really incredibly solid. Like, there's really not much else to say. It's just incredibly solid. But yeah, and I may or may not have just thirst followed him on Instagram, because I was curious, and it does not disappoint. So
well, then I will be doing it as well afterwards.
There's a lot of like hunting stuff though, so I'm like,
oh, I mean, but he's from Montana. What do you expect?
Exactly.
What do you expect?
Exactly. So like
50-50. It's good.
Exactly.
Look, if you're gonna follow him, you take the good with the bad. Period.
Very that. So next up, our jury winner from last week. She's back, Miss LeAnn, Natalie. Another performance that I liked, honestly, substantially better than last week's. And I know you were not high on this song at all.
I wasn't high on her on the song or the performance because I felt like it was just mediocre. But I will say I did enjoy it a little bit more this time than I did last time. I think this performance was a little bit better. She didn't give me dead eyes the entire time. She actually performed a little bit. I still hate that she don't move and she just stay in that one spot. And it's just, but the song doesn't call for that, I guess. If the performance called for her to move, she probably would. But I feel like this one didn't. And I love the little elements that they added this with the on the stage.
The sheer like screen with the projections. I thought that was the biggest thing for me that impacted the performance. I
like that they put the lyrics on the
That was my favorite part.
That was really cute.
My favorite part.
I was like, okay, that was good. But I still feel like the staging did everything for the song. Like, she didn't give anything. I feel the same way I felt the last time. She doesn't give me anything, but the song is a good song.
Yeah.
And she has a good voice. It's just she doesn't give anything. And I like this dress way better than I like the last dress.
Agreed.
But I want her to, I'm sure she has songs where she could give more, but this just isn't one of those songs. So I feel very like solid. Like, it was a solid song. Yeah. Was it my favorite of the night? No, but it was a solid song.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously have a bit more of a reaction to this song than you do. I like the song itself. I thought she gave a little bit more in this performance. I felt the what was it, but it didn't matter. I felt just a tinge more like grit from that, just like a little bit more grit. The dress was phenomenal. The sheer screen with the projections, I thought, was the perfect way to add something to the performance, because again, that is very Taylor Swift and of that genre. So sure, I wish. I don't necessarily know that this song calls for anything other than standing and sort of like giving this story and everything like that. I wish she had walked forward to be sort of like within the screens, because it felt like the screens were there with like the lyrics projecting at the end, and then she was like in the back. And I wish she had been a little bit more on level with those. And I think it would have improved.
You know what if they should have done, and what they could have added that would have made it so much better? If they would have had like some dancers telling the story.
Pull like, Alexis Cunningham.
Yeah, like get some contemporary dancers, and the way, since she's always standing on one particular side, they don't even have to be in front of her. They can be off to the side, just telling the story of, because it's such a story in the song. If they would have just told, like, had a couple of dancers to fill out the stage to add to the, to tell the story, then it would have did something. But it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So, we move on. Second to last in the running order is Massachusetts, Jared Lee with Shameless.
What can you say?
A lot, actually.
Well, say it.
I preferred the original. I didn't think this was not a bad performance by any means of the imagination. I think he's got a great voice. The package of the song itself, I think, is phenomenal. He's wonderful. Great. My biggest issue was it was the exact same staging to a T. Yep. Every single thing was the same, and that's what I have an issue with. Mm-hmm. And I think I wish there had been something new. I wish there had been something different. He also had a few sharp moments. But overall, this was fine.
I felt the same. I'm like, it was just the same. I can't compare it to, like, do I like the original more than I like the first one, this one? Because everything was the same. Every
I thought he hit more of the notes in the original. That's
every nuance was the same. He didn't change anything. He
Copy
just
pasta.
sang the song. And so I still love the song because, like we said, him singing it, the packaging of the song itself is a phenomenal song. You can't go wrong. I feel like he was very comfortable with and very happy with how he did it. So he like, why change anything when I felt this was perfect? So if you feel that what you did was perfect and no changes need to be made, don't force change if it doesn't have to be changed. And so I'm not that upset that he kept everything the same because he felt comfortable with what he did the first time. And sometimes people change stuff so much or feel like they have to change because it's a different performance that they ruin it. Hueston, if you would have just stuck with what you knew, it would have been safe. Sometimes they might say it's safe, but this song can never be safe because he does so much in the song already. So this song can never be safe. Do I wish he could have changed the staging a little bit? Sure. But the staging we raved about his staging before because it looked beautiful. It looked amazing. And it still looked beautiful. And it still looked amazing. And he still sounded great. It's just, I can't even compare it because it was the same. Everything was the same. Even every ad lib he added was the same ad lib. So it's like, you just gave me what needed to be gave as of 2 weeks. Like it was fine. It was good. It's a great song. You can't mess up that song because that song is a great song. I
completely agree. I really, really like the song. It's been on repeat for me, along with a lot of these songs. I think just for me, just the fact that it was the exact same brings it down a notch or two. I'll be honest, just because it was the same, and that's kind of all. But he's great. I can't complain about him or the song because it's great. So.
It's great, but he just gave us the same.
Yeah.
And closing us out.
They made the choice to close the show with Miss Alexa, and I loved it.
I enjoyed it.
Another perfectly solid performance from Alexa.
I like the first performance better than the second performance.
I think I do as well.
I did.
This was great as well.
I like what I did like this time overall. I can't remember if she did the first time or not. The floor at the end, the wavy floor.
I want to say that was part of the original.
I can't remember, but I
don't remember either, but
I liked it though.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. There was not that there wasn't a magic to this performance, but there was a magic to the first performance where I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I think there was such a level to maintain because she is by far the most streamed person out of all 56 artists in this entire contest. And that obviously has to cause a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And I think there were a couple moments where she had a few pitch issues, but again, most of them did. Yep. So I'm not going to fault her too much necessarily for that. But I thought this was an incredibly solid performance. She did what needed to be done.
Look, she still gave us what we wanted when we heard Wonderland. You want to see the magic. You want to see the, I love the strings. I love the whole thing. I love her falling off the stage. I love it all. And
the new outfit, I will say, I did like this outfit more.
Okay. I have to disagree. I like the first one better.
Fair.
But I do like her. This song is still amazing. It's nothing that's
still a bop.
It's still a bop. I still will listen to it. She definitely deserves to go to the finals because if she don't, I would be very annoyed by that.
I'm not confident.
I'm not either because this jury.
Let's talk about this guy.
Let's talk about this jury because I don't even understand.
Yeah. So we get the jury results. And as we talked about earlier, the jury winner for this was Alan Stone. So Alan Stone will be in the final.
Period.
Good.
Period.
Second place in the jury, Jordan Smith.
As he should.
Rightfully
I wasn't
so.
surprised by that.
I'm not mad at that. Third place, Hueston.
He should be lower.
Agreed. Fourth place, LeAnn.
She should be lower.
And I will say, of the four of the jury winners that are represented in this semi, all four of them were the top four.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one jury winner in next week being Tyler Braden. Mm-hmm. So I almost wish they had gotten new jurors. I know that's very difficult with 56 states, territories, and DC.
Right.
But I wish it had been a separate jury.
I mean, I feel like they should get
what the right. Yeah.
Right. I feel like they should have got a different panel. It don't have to be the same since now the semifinals are brought down. So you don't have to get from each state. But I mean, just a smaller panel now. You just get a different group of people to rank these who have not, I don't know.
Because this top four was not surprising. Fifth place, I think she should be higher, is Alexa.
I thought she should be way higher, but
okay. Sixth place, I thought they should have been higher, Nico.
Yeah.
Seventh place was Jonah Prill, which I'm happy for him.
I feel like he should have been a little higher too.
I agree completely. Eighth place being Shameless,
which is shocking and definitely does not deserve eighth place, but okay.
Ninth being Mari, which I think, as good as her performance was, I think that is unfortunately, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
10th place, Nubu Goofin.
I disagree 100%.
And last place in this jury ranking is Riker Lynch,
which is disgusting.
That was not a last place performance.
No, it was not. I don't even think it was a 10th place performance. Like, Riker did what needed to be done. It's so unfortunate. Yeah. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But if what we're seeing from the actual voting as it was happening, what they showed on us, Riker Lynch is doing all right. Like, America loves him.
I am, because we have to remember there are 4 more qualifying spots this time.
Yep.
Not 3.
Nope.
I think there's a legitimate shot if Riker Lynch can win the public vote.
Yep.
I almost called it televote because it's also Eurovision season and all of the terminology is going everywhere. Speaking of, go check out our Eurovision videos because they're a lot of fun and chaos. But I think there's a universe where he slides right into that 5th.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be mad at it because I feel like the jury is slighting this man for doing what needs to be done. Like, his performance was phenomenal. It was a really good performance. But I would not be surprised if he slides right in there and takes that spot because I feel like America seems to really like him.
Yeah. I think based on a combination of jury and public vote, I kind of want to do predictions of who we think are going to be the 5.
Well, we can do that after our rankings.
Sure. Let's save that. So it'll give me more time to think of who I actually think is going to qualify. So rankings, Lana. I'm just going to go ahead and do 11 because we have the same one. It's Nubu Goofin. Moving on. 10.
10. Wait. Yeah, go ahead. You're 10.
My 10th place is Hueston.
Yeah, that's my 10th place too, actually. Yeah.
Kind of wild, kind of spooky. Yeah. So with that said, my 9th is Shameless.
Ooh, not my
And
night.
honestly, from this point on, all of the top 9, I really liked all their performances. The biggest thing for Jared is just it was the exact same, and I don't personally love that. So that's why it's fallen here for me.
Okay, my 9th is Natalie.
My 8th is Natalie, so yeah.
Was this there?
Yeah.
Where we at?
8th.
8th. Oh,
and mine is Natalie.
Oh, that's right. That's what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
My 8th actually is Fly.
Yeah.
It's love it. Love her. It's just where it fell.
My 7th is Fly, so I understand.
Yeah, my 7th actually is Feel the Love.
Whoa, we do not have the same top 5.
Oh, I loved his performance. I do,
Okay.
but I feel like I loved everybody's from this point on. I just loved everybody's.
Sure. All right. Yeah. So my 6th is gonna be Jonah Prill.
That's my 6th as well.
We have a lot more in common than I thought we were going to.
We do. I thought we were going to be very much different. But look, Jonah, you fine though. But gosh, you fine.
Maybe we have the same. I think we have. I'm fairly confident we have the same top 4. My 5th, very happily, is Riker Lynch.
Okay. My 5th is going to shock you a little bit.
Oh no! Is it? No, it's not. No, I get it, but no.
I love them. I hope. My hope is that they slide into that top 5. Like I want them to. With all of my heart and soul, I want them to. But this performance today, or this performance that from this week, it just had problems that I just can't overlook. But they still are I love them, and I will support anything that they do. But
that's fair. My top 4, honestly, is personal preference. They're all great, but personal preference speaking only, my 4th place is going to be Jordan Smith.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that. My 4th actually is Shameless because I still love the song. I still love it. It's definitely personal preference for me in this point on too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So top 3, not the same as I kind of thought our top 3 would be, but my 3rd place for this evening is going to go to Alexa.
Wow.
It's come down to personal preference on the song at this point.
Yeah.
Song and performance together. Alexa's going to be 3rd for me tonight.
Okay. 3rd for me actually is Jordan Smith with Sparrow. I think. Look, you can't go wrong. You love I love what I love, and the top 3s, top 4s actually are just all
my
great.
My top 7.
Top 7 is all great songs. This is like period.
Yeah. My runner-up this evening, the same way they were when we talked about it the first time, is Alabama.
I love that. I do love that.
For me, it came down to their staging, honestly. And I just have such a visceral reaction to their staging, where I think Alexa's is great. I think Jordan's is great. But for me, this staging and the camera angles and the way that they interacted, and the subtle changes that were made, and the fact that I thought Danny had such a spectacular performance, is what's brought it into my runner-up spot.
Yeah. My runner-up this week is Alexa. I still love her. I still love the song. I loved her staging. Even if it lacked a little bit of the magic that we saw from the first week, it still was magical. And I enjoyed it so much. I did not agree with the rankings of the jury. I feel like they lost their minds.
She got the top spot out of the people that weren't already jury qualifiers.
Right. But our number one pick is the same.
It's Alan Stone. It's Alan Stone.
It's just a great song. It's just, he just did what needed to be done.
Yeah.
I cannot. Oh, I said it already. If
I don't feel like I said enough about this song. I'll be honest.
I don't think you did because I talked too much.
That's fine because I know you. It's gonna be the same way next week with North Dakota, regardless of how Chloe Fredericks does. Be like, I will die for this song. No, I'm kidding. No, I just every single thing he did, every single camera angle, every single thing that he did differently from last performance to this performance, every single thing was just so spectacularly done. I can't be mad at this. Truly cannot be mad.
So it was so good. It was so good.
It's kind of a big 180 from where I was.
It is
not a 180. We'll say like a 90.
It was like, just so good. You were there, but you weren't on the train.
I wasn't there.
You weren't like, here's the train. I'm like conducting the train. And
I'm in like the second to last
car. Like I'm coming. Yeah. Like you're walking up the platform and you're like, maybe I should get on this train. I don't know. I like it, but I don't know. Then this week you finally jumped on the train.
I listened to this actually in a low moment that I had over the last couple of weeks, and it kind of had like a way different impact for me. And I like truly took a little bit of time to I think I listened to this song 3 times in a row on repeat. And I was like, I see what Lana is talking about. Like, I see it, I hear it. All of it. And we know he's going to the final. Lana,
we love that for him.
Who else do we think is going to the final?
Jordan Smith.
I agree.
I think Jordan Smith is going.
I think I agree.
I
think Alexa's going.
I think Alexa's going.
I think based purely on and I mean in the jury ranking, she's already there. So
right.
I don't think there's going to be an issue because of the fan reaction to her.
Right.
The other 2 spots, honestly,
up for grabs. Honestly.
Could be anyone else, and I am including
Riker
Goofin in that.
Yeah, and I include him in that because of the way people seem to really like the song. I don't get it. I don't particularly get it, but it's not just me voting. If it was just me voting, the man would have been gone last week. But it's not.
The man would have been gone week 1 forever and would never have come back.
Never come back. So, but for some reason, people seem to be taken to the song. I don't know if it's the niche, the camp,
probably
of it. People like camp.
I can't deny that camp. And it's like, if it was a better song, I'd probably be like all over it because there's a lot of camp entries in Eurovision this year that I'm a big fan of that are like stupid in the same way that his is, but they're like much better done.
They're just better.
Which Lana will experience here soon. Video coming soon. Ooh, maybe if we have time. I don't know. I'm gonna say, I think the other 2 spots.
I'm gonna go with Riker Lynch. I'm gonna say he's sneaking in there. I'm saying he's sneaking in there.
I think my 4th spot, I think is gonna be LeAnn. Honestly, I think she is gonna make it.
Yeah, I think they like her and people like her.
Well, and the interesting thing is, this is the first time that we're going to see Jordan Smith, LeAnn, and Hueston subjected to a public vote. I'm very interested to see how that goes because all of them were jury qualifiers.
Yep.
In the same way that if Tyler Braden doesn't win the jury vote next week, which I'm expecting. At this point, I'm going to be real honest. I'm expecting him to win. I'm expecting him to be in the final. Cool, whatever. It's not my favorite song, but it's a decent whatever. like, it's going to be really interesting to see how the fans react to these songs, because we've never, like, we've been able to vote on them, but we've never truly been able to vote on them.
Right.
So I think my fourth spot's going to go to Ada LeAnn, and yours is going to Riker Lynch.
You know, so who else could sneak in there?
Are we thinking the same person?
I think Jonah could sneak in there.
I was going to say Fire It Up. Yeah, I really do.
I think Fire It Up could sneak in there. I would love to see Alabama sneak in there with the difference, but yes. I feel like Jonah could sneak in there.
I think Jonah has courted the like traditional country music market in a way that I think his voting is going to be a little bit different from Ryan Charles. Again, I'm going to be honest, I would not be surprised to see New Boo Goofin in the final, and I'm going to be upset if it does. I'm hoping that a 10th place jury ranking does him in, but I'm hoping an 11th place jury ranking for Riker Lynch propels him up. I don't know how that's mathematically possible, but sure. Yeah, I think I could see Jared. I could see Jared as well. I think the only
I feel like this is all over the place. I think Mari might. Yeah.
I think Mari might be the only person that maybe doesn't have a shot, and I feel bad because I love her. But I mean, if audiences do the same thing for Mari that they did in the qualifiers,
right? Who knows?
She could be flying in the final. Who knows?
I feel like anybody could be out of this, even New Boo Goofin. I feel like all of them have a chance to slide into this, especially since they're taking, like you said, they're taking 4 more people. So I think the field is wide open.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll be back next week talking about it. Talking about semifinal 2, a lot of our like real big faves next week.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, Lana.
Yeah.
Nope, that's the wrong one. It's because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 kind of upbeat pop with a little bit other element songs in this. So like, I think Michael Bolton's gonna stand out. I think
it's such a beautiful song.
I hope that John Morgan gets swept under the rug by Tyler Braden, which I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be good. I mean, I think Tennille is going to stand out because nobody has a sound like hers in this. But you also have California and Georgia who are going to give you performance.
Anissa,
Anissa as well. And Texas and
Grant Kanoki is going to give that performance.
They're going to give us performance. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch.
We're done.
We're done. We have nothing else to give because we gave it all. But we will say this: like, follow, subscribe, everything on your way out. We appreciate you watching.
It truly makes the difference. We held on too long in this video.
And we are shamelessly plugging everything that we have.
It's time for us to fly into new heights of subscriberdom. So please, if your name is
Natalie, please, and just fire it up. And
take a fuck. I was trying to bring in a bit of both. If you like us, a bit of both.
Follow a little bit of both of us, and if we need to feel the love from you, because if you feel the love from us, we'll feel the love for you, and we'll take you on this Wonderland. I
was gonna say join the Wonderland,
and we'll take you on a Wonderland of a journey.
I see a sparrow outside. I don't know. Is that all?
I mean, you could have said you could fly like a sparrow.
Fly like a sparrow. Is that all of them?
Yep, we got them all.
Did that work? Oh, cheers, my love.
Cheers.
Woo. Bye. Bye now.
Bye now.
Bye. Goodbye. Farewell. So long.
I'll be the same. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Adieu to you and you and you.
Dan Alexa for clear skin.